to get straight. There's like a problem with an easement, some kind of a Hudson Land Trust easement, and something with the septic system. So there's a few things he's got to get. So I guess he's going to work on that. When he gets it done, he'll get back to us.
Excuse me, Bob?
Yeah.
Bob?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Can you just start now? Because it's recording now.
Just start now. Okay. We'll
Start
start
right
over.
now.
All right,
Thank
then I'll
you.
start. Okay, good. All right. We'll start with the approval of the minutes from November. Is anybody, any corrections or any changes?
No.
All right.
No.
I
Make a motion to accept them.
Okay, anybody second? Lenny
Aye.
seconds. Lenny made the motion, Lenny seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
The minutes are good. Okay, now the other thing is like I said, this 699 Old Albany Post Road, and there was questions about it. We sent to the planning board for a report. They gave us a report, and they have a few items that they're looking for. Conservation, there's a conservation easement, and evidently it doesn't show up on the survey, so they want to see it on the survey. And there's a question about the septic system and stormwater management and so on and so forth. So I guess the gentleman who's handling it, architect for them, Mrs. Flagg, I guess, is going to get some of those things to get back to us. So I guess we'll put him on the I'd like to hear from Kelly. I'd like to hear from him and see where he's at before we put him on the agenda.
Yeah, it would be David Spence, so I'm going to let him in.
Oh, you can let him in. Okay. Hello, Mrs. Spence? Hello?
Yep, give him 1 second.
Give him 1 second. All right.
David?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hi. Hello. Mrs. Spence?
You, hold on. There we go.
Oh, yeah, I go good. Yeah, I got the letter and I read it over, and there's a few different things there. I guess that the planning board had problems with was the conservation easement. I want to see that on the survey. You got the letter from the planning board, correct?
I did, yeah. Well, that's for their review. For the planning board, they would like to see it in their submission.
Right. Well, I'd like to see it in our submission too.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
They were just, this was Ron Gaynor's letter to them, and this is standard protocol for the planning board. And these items that they outlined, including the septic and such, was for planning board review. It didn't really have any consequence with the zoning board in terms of what reliefs we were seeking in terms of a variance. So
I have an issue with the conservation easement. We spoke about that at the meeting, you know, where it was and so on and so forth. And you
yeah.
survey doesn't show it.
Well, we also received a letter from the HHLT that they've approved the project. Do you have that?
No, I don't.
Okay, so they've already reviewed it and they have accepted it on accepted the project. So it's not, the only conservation easement was due to, was for the Hudson Highlands Trust.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think there was a question about the septic or something too on that.
Right.
Yeah, again, they're just asking for details and the engineering for the septic and such, which is normal planning board submission.
Okay.
So as you know, once we complete with zoning, we then have to do all this with the planning board. And so from our viewpoint, we're just trying to check off some boxes one at a time. And the idea is that we don't want to engage any engineering and design and all of this unless we know that we can get at least the variances from zoning so that we can then take it to the next step to planning board. So all these items that they are talking about are standard protocol. We have to do anyway for permitting. So they're nothing special. And we have to do it for planning board, I guess is my point.
Well, I think, like I say again, I'd like to see on the survey where the conservation easement is. Does it go right through the building, around the building? Does it disturb?
Well, it's not through the property. It's the fact that it's on Old Albany Turnpike, and the Turnpike itself has a easement, a view corridor easement, on any structure that's located along, not Turnpike, Old Albany Post Road. That's the conservation easement that they're talking about.
Okay, well, I don't have that letter from them. They're just saying that it's approved. I don't have that.
Kelly, do you have that? available? I know that it was available for the planning board.
I do have that letter.
Okay, well, we don't have it. So I guess I'll open up to the members of the board. Do you feel the package is complete on this, or are there more questions that you need in order to determine if the package is complete or not? The application.
Well, isn't I was reading the letter that we got and Ron Gaynor's letter, and it seems that that these things are the purview of the planning board, not the zoning board in general. So if the planning board is satisfied, although you know, with the site approval, as long as these things are completed, I guess I'm okay with it. Sounds to me like they're basically saying, you know, it's okay for us to look at the zoning issues, that the planning board issues have been resolved, except for, you know, on the basis of that these things are resolved. Is that right?
That's my understanding, and that was how the discussion went in the planning
Okay.
board meeting. Yeah.
Adam, what's your understanding on this? Adam?
Yeah, I mean, I have no issue with placing them on the agenda for next month.
For public hearing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Keep in mind that, you know, granting the variances is not, you know, granting approval of the project. They just need the variances to then go back to the planning board to work out all the details of development on the site and things of that nature. So they already presented to the ZBA. We asked for a technical report from the planning board. We got that, so we could put them on for a hearing. And even if we were to grant the variances they seek, they still have to go back to the planning board for the approval. So it's just one step in the process.
All right, so I guess we take a vote on the application complete and set it up for a public hearing for next month?
May I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So the first meeting we had, the application was deemed complete.
No, it wasn't complete.
Well, then the second meeting was, if I'm not mistaken, was a public hearing,
No,
of which
I don't believe it was.
No,
I believe it was.
No, Adam?
Yeah, you know, quite frankly, I'd have to go back because I don't have those minutes right in front of me. But all we have now is a letter, and it's certainly not an agenda item for tonight. So I would put it on for next month.
Correct.
For public hearing, continued public hearing and decision.
Right.
And I think we're all set with that. That would be the second week in February.
Yeah, February 12th.
So that would be that would be a second public hearing then, correct?
I don't believe we had a public hearing. I have to go back in the notes as far as I know.
No, that's what brought this whole thing up, because Mr. Zuckerman, who entered in as a neighbor, if you might recall, along with a couple other neighbors, spoke about the project.
Okay.
And that's when it's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
understand.
if we had a public hearing, our conclusion was that we had to send it back to the planning board before we could continue. So,
Okay.
It would be a continuation of public hearing.
right.
Okay, fair enough. I just want to.
Well, I gotta go check because I'm not sure it was a public hearing. It might have just been something that started with your application and people were allowed to speak. So
Right.
I'm not saying that we did have a public hearing until I go back and look at the minutes.
Okay.
For a public hearing next month, whether it's continuation, the old one or a new one or whatever like that, it's gonna be for February 12th.
Way or the other, we need to discuss this next month. And the thing about us, the public hearing we can find out that information and let you know about it
Correct.
before the start of the
Kelly,
discussion next month.
Yeah, Kelly, you check onto that and see if we had a public hearing there. I'm not sure. I know we had a discussion. I'm not sure if we considered that if we made that an actual public hearing.
Gotta make sure we cross the Ts and dot the Is, or it could be challengeable.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Any way you slice it, next month is going to be a public hearing.
That's right.
Paperwork is in. Yeah.
And,
You gotta be-
even for reviews for completeness, oftentimes we will hear from members of the public about particular issues, even though it's not considered quote unquote a public hearing.
Part of,
Right, that was my point. That sometimes when we go for an application, people do speak, I allow the public to speak, but it's not public hearing. Okay, so whatever.
Right.
You
All right. No,
set the
I'm,
public
okay.
hearing next month, okay?
That's fine. I understand.
Okay,
The,
all right, thank you.
Okay.
No, sir, okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
Next one is, let's see. Public hearing for,
Lakeisha,
66 Highland Drive. It's about a second story. Gentleman wants to put a second story on the house, and I think there's several variances are going to need. One is wants a letter about, let's see, second floor, and it's something about front yard, also a front yard variance that he needs. That's what it is. It's a 42 feet front yard setback where 50 foot is required, so he's looking for a variance there. And he's looking for a variance on chapter 175, which refers to that you can't be any more than 25% because it's non-conforming, pre-existing, and that requires a permit. And then if it goes over 25%, which he's doing, it's almost doubling the size of the house, so that would also require a variance for that. Am I correct on that, Adam?
Yeah, it's basically 3 variances.
Right.
The first is a front yard setback
Right.
variance. The code requires 50.
And he wants 42.
And I believe he's proposing, I think with the addition, it's going to be 46.5 feet
Okay.
on the front yard. The second one, and it's kind of related, for a pre-existing non-conforming structure, the code says on the front yard, you can't increase the height. So by building the second floor, you're technically increasing the height within the front yard setback. And the square footage from the second floor addition, it represents an increase of more than 25%. So he needs a variance to go over 25% and a special permit. This is all just on the addition.
Right.
I believe, although there's going to be some changes or expansions to the side and rear deck, that complies with side yard and rear yard setbacks. So it's essentially just the addition and as it affects the front yard setback.
Right. Okay. Is the gentleman here, the applicant here, to speak to that, Kelly?
I brought them in already. They should be
Okay.
on.
Hello. I don't see anything.
Yeah, sorry, I believe my husband and the architects are supposed to be handling this.
Yes.
So I don't see them on the call.
Who is your architect?
Let's see, where are they? They're not, oh no, I don't see them on here.
Juhi? Is it Juhi?
No.
Mary Ting? No?
Mary, yes,
Mary
yes.
Ting? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up?
I just let her in.
Okay,
Well, I don't know. We got to see first the architect's not here. There's nobody here yet. There's only one person who doesn't know
No.
about it. Hold on. Hold on.
Bob should be on
Yeah.
in one moment. Mary should be on.
yeah, they're all
She's the
together.
architectural firm.
All right. Hold on. Because somebody's
There
coming.
they are.
I'll ask a question. Okay. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, okay. Hi. I guess the questions are there's 3 variances needed here, right? Okay. How close? Hold on. I have a question from one of the board members, and he's on the phone. Hold on. Go ahead. What's the question, man?
How close they come into the property line?
Which way? In the front yard or side yard or what? Oh, he wants to know, Mr. Lynn is on the phone. He wants to know, how close are you coming to the property line? So I guess it means front line, side line. You need a variance in the front yard, is that correct?
Right, well, there's an existing variance for what's there. So we're just raising on the existing house in the front.
And we're setting back. The existing front yard is, it's 42.5 front,
Right.
42.5 feet. And we're gonna be set back from that. We're gonna be at 46.5.
So you don't need a front yard variance.
No,
Well, we do,
we do, because
Because we need 50 feet.
Right, it's just the height variance,
So
right?
this is-
right, so
Yeah,
Right, so it used to be 42 feet, now you want 46 feet, right?
Right, we still have the 42.5. I mean,
Yeah.
that stays.
Right.
On the
So
second
we need-
floor,
but we
we're
need-
set back from it.
right, we need it for the second floor
Mhm.
because we're raising it. Yeah. And we were told that the existing variance for the first floor doesn't carry for the second floor.
right.
Okay. All right.
So you're saying you're building in the same footprint, is that correct?
In the front, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Footprint's the same in the front, except on the second floor, they're coming out more. That's what you need the variance. On this, they need the variance for the second floor. Okay, all right.
No, excuse me. The
Go ahead.
front, the second floor, the front of the second floor is set back from the,
It comes up
because the
left.
first floor is a porch. We're gonna be set back from that. It's
Right,
gonna,
we understand that the second floor is going to be set back even further from the front
Correct.
than the existing structure.
correct.
Right.
Closer to the
And
front
excuse-
yard.
And
Huh?
the second,
Go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead, Paul.
and the second floor is going to be flush with the main body of the house excluding the porch, right?
Correct.
Okay,
And you're leaving the original house intact. You're not knocking it down and starting from the beginning.
No.
No,
Okay.
we're making alterations within, but the,
But no, we're not worried about inside, we're not worried about the inside, we're worried about the outside.
right.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Okay, any other board members have any questions on this? Anybody?
No.
No, all right. And Adam, you're pretty much aware of what variances they need, right?
Yep.
Feet wise and one, okay, fine. All right, so now, Kelly, is there anybody in the public here who would like to speak to this public meeting?
No, there's nobody.
Nobody? All right. There's nobody wants to speak, so, all right, the best thing, let's go over the 5 factors then on it. Before we do that, let's see. The first one is, let's see, what possible detriment would the variance have on nearby properties? Can I ask the applicant to answer that?
None.
None? Okay, why do you say none?
What detriment would it have on the nearby?
What?
Because it doesn't really have an impact on any of the,
On nearby properties?
on the nearby properties.
How close is the nearest property to you? To the side, let's say, you know,
Oh, wait, let me see. I have that answer.
Hold on one second.
My,
And the nearest property would be the one to the north.
right.
So,
We are, side yard.
approximate, I don't need it.
We're 55 feet away from the property line.
From the property line, okay. I know they're pretty, now, there's, those houses are,
I mean, it'll improve the look of our house, that's for sure.
okay.
Aside from that, I don't see that it would have an impact.
Okay. If you didn't get this variance, how else could you build, or, you know, what you want to accomplish the goal? What else, is there any other way that you could do this without getting a variance?
Not really.
Okay. What code is required? All right, hold on. Go ahead.
Ask him to explain why not.
Explain, Mr. Lynn wants to know why not.
Well, part of the issue that we have
The slope.
Go ahead.
is that there's, the house is on a very big slope, so we couldn't, there's not a lot of,
Flat area, right?
there's not a lot of flat area that we can, if we wanted to extend to the back, that we'd be able to do. And also, part of this is that we would only be allowed to expand the 25% of the footage. I mean, we just, really need a little more room. Part of it is that we want to have all the bedrooms on the same floor. Right now, the way the way the things are structured, we don't. There's 2 on one floor and 1 on another floor, in the basement.
So you're looking to put all the bedrooms upstairs?
We'll have all the bedrooms upstairs.
Okay, all right, ready? Okay, all right, that's good. You answered this question. Let's see, what code requirements you seek to vary? Well, we already went over them. The attorney has what code that you need, and what variances you need. Let's see, what impact or effect would a variance have on the current physical and environmental condition in the area? Well, you're not really doing any excavating or knocking any trees down or anything, are you?
No, well, there's a tree that's right next to the house that we'll be taking down just because it's a tree we have to take down anyway. It's just too close to the house.
It's not impact, it's not because of the addition.
Correct.
Okay. Last one, is the variance requested as a result of a self-created hardship? No, I guess the properties over there, I know it's kind of narrow and all like that, so I think no properties are narrow. I don't think it's a self-created hardship. I just think the way they built these properties years ago, I know you go pretty much down to the lake, but it pretty much drops in back of your house, right?
It does, yes.
It pretty much drops, so that's really unusable land to you. I mean, as far as to build on.
Correct.
Okay. All right, do any other board members have any questions?
No.
Anybody?
No.
Have anything to say? Okay, at this point in time, I want to make a motion to close the public hearing. Can I get a second?
Also,
Lenny, I make the motion to close, Lenny seconds it. Okay, all in favor of approving this variance, I'm gonna go by a voice vote. Hold on, Lenny, you approve of this?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Lim approves of the variances. Mr. Sestone,
I approve.
approve. Okay, Ms. Claire,
Yes, I approve.
approve, and Francis?
Yes, I approve.
Okay, I approve. Okay, so it's unanimous, and all the variances are approved, and the attorney will be drawing them up for you. If you have any questions on that, you can call the building inspector.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
You're welcome. Good night now.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next one is Tony and Kim Ritchie, 3315 Route 9, Cold Spring, New York. Applicant seeks to convert a second floor storage into a one-bedroom apartment. Is Mr. Mitchell, I'm gonna read the letter. Just got to, before I talk to them, I'm gonna read a letter. This got sent to us from the planning board. It's from Steve Gaba, the attorney for the planning board. The above reference matter is an application pending before the planning board for site approval to construct an upper floor apartment in a mixed-use building. I am writing at the direction of the planning board to refer this application to the ZBA for consideration of grant of variances that are necessary for the project. Particularly, the subject property is located in the HC zoning district. It is currently the site of a commercial building housing an electrical contractor business called Ritchie Electric, and a trailer being used as a residential dwelling unit is also on the property. By adding the proposed second floor apartment, the applicant will convert the existing commercial building to a mixed-use building. However, the lot on which the building is located is a legal non-conforming lot as to a side yard setback, which is 15 feet, being required by zoning, and existing side yard only being 1 foot, 0.52 inches. For the applicant's application approval of an upper floor residential apartment requires a variance from zoning code 175-23D1, which prohibits establishment of a new use in a non-conforming building or a non-conforming lot without grant to an area variance from the ZBA. And also there's additions, the applications of trailers, evidently some storage trailers on the property. And if he wants to keep them there permanently, he would have to get a variance for zoning code 175-44D2. But in reading the ordinance, it says a trailer can be used for temporary storage for up to a year. So that's one thing there. So, Mr. Ritchie, are you here? Is he available, Kelly?
Yes, I let him on.
Okay.
Okay, what do
I just don't see his picture. I mean,
hold on.
hold on. Okay, he's working on it.
Okay, we got to figure this
We gotta
out.
figure this out,
Hold
yes.
on.
All right, take your time.
I don't know how to make it, the picture go.
I don't know how to-
I don't
I
know how
got
to make.
Mr. Ritchie. I'm waiting for him to get onto the picture.
Oh, there we go.
There you
Yeah.
go. All
There
right.
you go.
All right. Maybe you're better off without the picture. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I guess we've got three issues here. The first one is the residential trailer. Okay.
Okay.
What plans do you have for that?
Well, first off, it's going to be removed. It's going to be completely taken off the property. We're going to trash it. It's going to go away. We have somebody that's living in there now, and they are intending on moving. So it'll be vacant, and at that point, we're going to just take it away.
Okay. Do you have any time frame on that?
At March 31st.
Okay. The March 31st, they're moving?
Yes,
What?
he's gonna be moving before then, but that's the hopefully the time I will be taking that off the lot.
Okay, so you're planning to take it off around March 31st or there sometime there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Depending on the weather and all. Okay, good.
Excuse me, aren't there two storage trailers on the property?
No.
There's two of them, right?
There's one trailer that's a residential home.
Oh,
That's what we're talking
okay,
about. It's a residential
and-
home. It's been here for a lot of years.
right, and,
So he said the other
okay,
one,
and then this,
and then the other one, two.
yeah, I
storage.
know, I, yeah. What about the storage trailer?
We didn't get to that yet.
Is that,
You're jumping ahead of me, Paula.
oh, okay, sorry.
Relax. Okay. Now, the second thing is the apartment. We'll get into that last. Let's go into the two storage trailers. Now, according to the zoning, you could use them temporarily for up to a year. But if you
Yes.
got it permanently, you got to get a variance. Now, what's your plan with that?
Actually, our plans are gonna be after we get the place finished and built, we'll create space below. We can get to put our stuff in that we're housing in the trailers now. So we'll get rid of those also. At this point, that's our plan, is to number one, get rid of the house trailer. And also at the end, get rid of the storage trailers also.
After you finish the apartment.
Yes,
That's going to have to be less than a year. You understand that?
yes. No, I understand.
Okay,
Got it.
all right. So that would kind of knock those two issues out with us. We really don't have any, so it's, you're around March or beginning of April, you're going to take away that trailer that's with that someone lives in, the occupied, and the other ones you're going to take down when you, when and if you get your permit to do your apartment. Okay, so I'm just worried about, don't worry about is the apartment on the second floor. Now, I saw your plans and all like that. I saw you're building steps to go up around the side. Is that what that is in front of your building?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand you.
Steps. Are you building steps on the side of the?
Yeah, well, the steps, we repaired the steps that were existing.
Okay.
There were existing steps there that we repaired. We fixed them so that you can actually walk on them.
Okay, so this is like a 2-bedroom apartment?
Yes, correct.
Okay. It's gonna be a rental or you're gonna be occupied or?
We are thinking of occupying it ourselves
Okay,
at this
but
point.
it could be a rental.
Yes.
Okay. Will be a parking space there for that person?
Oh my God, there's 30 spaces. If you want.
They got
That's a
their
big-
pick. Okay, great. Is there any questions from any board members on this? I thought the only, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only thing it looks like we're concerned with now would be the variance for the apartment.
I have
Well-
I have a question.
Wait,
Yeah, I mean, as I understand it from what Mr. Ritchie indicated, that the residential trailer will be removed and the storage trailers will also be removed. So I assume we're all on board that if relief is granted, which is essentially you have a structure there that has an insufficient side yard setback. And because that's a non-conforming structure and you're changing the use of it in the sense of you're adding a residential use to the existing commercial use, you would need a variance for that because the structure has an insufficient side yard setback. But just so we're all clear, it seems that as a condition to the grant of the variance, and again, this is just a review for completeness, we're scheduling this for a public hearing next month. It seems that we would add conditions that the residential trailer and the storage trailers will be removed, because if they're not,
Yeah, no, I understand.
that would tee up the need for a use variance. But if the applicant is representing they will be removed, we can make it as a condition and we can just do it with an area variance.
Okay, Mr. Ritchie, do you understand that?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Okay, you have no problem with that?
No, not at all. That's my intent, is to remove what we talked about. Yeah.
Okay. All right, just point in time, I'd like to make the application is complete, and I make a motion. Anybody second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. Mr. Lim says aye too. All right, now, so what we'll do is we'll set this up for a public hearing for February 8th. Is the next,
Said the 12th.
you're saying the 12th?
No, what did you, I thought you originally said it's going to be the 12th.
Oh, I think I made a mistake. Hold on, was it February 8th?
It's-
Yay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 8th is the second Monday.
Second Monday, it is. Yeah, we'll have to tell Kelly, do me a favor, let that gentleman know, the first gentleman know that it's the 8th, not the 12th.
David, yeah, I'll let him know.
Okay.
Yeah, when is Lincoln's
My brother
birthday
and I-
celebrated?
I'm sorry?
Lincoln's birthday is the 12th. Is that celebrated on the day of the 12th? Sometimes, because sometimes they
no,
have it
that's
celebrated on a
President's Week.
Monday.
That's like President's Week now and all like that. I don't see that as.
President's Day is the 15th.
Right,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, so you'll be set then for February 12th, same thing like this Zoom, okay? Oh, now, do you have a list, Kelly, of like neighbors around there or surrounding neighbors, in order to send out letters?
I'll send out certified letters and I'll notice it in the paper.
Okay, you understand that, Mr. Ritchie? You're gonna send out letters for people that surround you and
Very good.
in the paper, so they'll be able, if they have any concerns or anything like that, they'll be able to speak, speak at the
At the
meeting.
public meeting. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you're all set for next month, sir.
Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Yeah, this, I have it down for the second Monday would be the 8th.
Yeah,
Right.
correct. Right, my
Yeah.
mistake. Well, Kelly will call him and straighten it out. Okay, thank you, Mr. Ritchie. We'll see you
Thank
then.
you very much. Thanks, everybody.
Bye now.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
All right, next order of business is application from 420 Indian Brook Road. I guess, Kelly, do you have anybody here from there? Applicant?
Yes, I just let Juhi in.
Okay. Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing? Who am I speaking to?
Juhi Lee Hartford from River Architects.
Okay, Ms. Hartford, I can see you now.
Let's see.
What tonight's meeting is for is to see if your application is complete. And if you're missing some items, you might have to get some items and so forth, for our next meeting. Now, in looking at that, first thing, I don't see a denial letter from the code enforcement officer.
We were trying to follow up on that. He was supposed to have it ready for us. I'll follow up on that.
Okay. And the other gonna need a notarized letter from the homeowners. Well, I know you say you represented them, but I need a letter from them, notarizing that you are allowed to represent them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, and you're gonna need a copy of the deed. We need to see a copy of the deed to the property.
yes, we submitted that, but might have been a few days late. Yeah.
Okay, everybody has that. And now they need a current survey.
Current survey. We have an older survey. May I show you on screen what it looks like and see if that's acceptable?
Sure, let's see.
Okay.
There's right off of that street, there's only like two houses, right? It's a long road, there's two houses on it, 416 and 420 or something like that. There at the end.
Yes, and share screen. Hold on a second. So this is what we have. currently at hand. I mean, granted, it's not, done in recent years, but it does tell,
As long as it's done by by a signed surveyor and all like that, I can see the seal on the bottom. But we need to see a copy of this. So get copies of this to Kelly, and she'll get it to us, for the next meeting.
okay, great.
And I'm gonna
Great.
need I don't know what the current yard setback is, and I don't know how much you're asking for, because I don't have the letter from the code enforcement officer. You know what I mean?
I see, yes.
So that's all
Yeah,
that together. So if you can get all it together, we'll take another look at it next month. Would be
Okay.
February 8th. We have to get all that together. The other thing, I got a couple of questions.
yes.
Your plan on page ZBA 6 shows, if I'm looking correctly, shows it like a 2-story building.
Yeah, it's 1.5. We're yet to determine how low the home office will be. So to give you a little bit of a background, so let me just go back to the survey. So the property is landlocked. So our client has to go through the easement here, through their neighbor's yard, property, and their property is landlocked, and it's along the Indian
Right.
Brook.
Right.
And the location, so their property starts right here, which straddles two properties. As I mentioned, this is landlocked, and they overlook the Indian Brook Road, but we have no access to it.
Okay.
Not from this side. So the site is accessed from here, and we have a small gravel parking area, and the garage is proposed right in this vicinity.
By the well?
And yes, we have to kind of navigate the well. And we spoke to Beatty and Watson.
How close are
Yeah,
you gonna be to that stream?
the stream, we will be beyond this 100-foot setback. So
Double check.
we,
I think it's 150 feet. Double check it.
150,
What did he say? What did the code enforcement officer tell you?
we went to wetlands before on a different topic, and they did say 100 feet. But we will,
What
yeah.
did Greg Warner tell you?
I thought he said 100 feet as well.
Actually, 100 feet.
But you would like to see that. I understand. Yeah.
I want to see that it's far from there. And all I got to see is, if I see his letter, it'll have more information on denial letter. It'll tell us why he denied your application, and we'll have a little more understanding there.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, let me see what else. Like that.
One.
Go ahead. And you're gonna need there's a thing called the 5-factor sheet. You can get that
Yes.
online.
Uh-huh.
I need to get that and fill out the question, have that one too.
Yes,
for-
I was looking for it, and I found a similar one, but some reason I couldn't find it on Philipstown. So it's listed in the Philipstown
Under the building department.
building department. Okay. Okay.
Under what? Kelly?
It's under the building department. Juhi, I can actually send you one tomorrow.
Okay, great. I mean, we know the general list, and we've reviewed it with our client, just from our past experiences. I remembered what they were, and I found a similar list elsewhere. So long story short, I found a way around it for now.
Okay.
But yes, I would like to answer that. And then I believe I was supposed to submit at least one copy of signed and sealed set of drawings, which I missed last time. So
No, we need 5 copies, 6 copies actually.
6 copies, all signed and sealed? I thought just one.
We have it.
No, every, you don't have to be, they could be copies of the original.
Oh, I see, one original, right?
Yeah, original, right, because we have 5 board members and the attorney who have
Okay.
to get a copy of it.
Bob, do they need a certificate of occupancy for the original building, since this is another
Yeah.
building, or?
No, okay, she's right, CO for the original building.
But we were looking into that. We will talk to Mr. Greg Warner, but I thought that this was an old building, and our clients don't have a record of the C of O, but we'll find out through the
Okay.
building department.
Speak to him and whatever, you know, if it doesn't have a CO, I'm sure we can have a letter from him or something like that, you know, telling us that, but, it may be there. Sometimes they find them, you know, the date back. All right, is there anything else anybody can think of that she may need?
No.
No, right? Lenny, anything you can think of?
No.
No, that's it. All right, you know what? Go ahead.
I would like to mention one thing, in the plan, our clients would like to fit in a half bath somewhere, and we're looking at just two possible solutions. It's just a half bath, just a water closet and a hand wash sink. So it will be, you know, somewhere within the home office area. So I
Right.
just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
All right, well, that's gonna have to be in the plans when you know, give them to us, back to us, when you get everything to us. You have to
Okay.
show where you're gonna put it,
Okay, great.
and show what septic system you're gonna use.
I'm sorry,
Are
what's,
you gonna use the septic system from, are you gonna connect to the original one and so on and so forth, you know? There again, this is the question that comes about the how far from the stream.
right. Yes, we will, I know that we have a septic system in this vicinity of the house, and our civil engineer was proposing to just connect to the existing
Okay.
because it's not another dwelling unit.
Right, it's not gonna be a bedroom in there, just a half a bath.
Correct.
Okay,
Right.
all right. I get all that together and we'll schedule for a completion. I can't schedule for public hearing, so I'll schedule for a completion next month is February 8th.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Okay,
Great. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
I know.
So this is for completion on the 8th.
Yeah, completion on the 8th, correct.
Okay.
Okay, is there any questions from any board members on anything? Anything else? Any new business, any old business? I think that's it, right? Okay. And Adam, could you check with Steve Gavin, tell him, you know, how we discussed it with Richie, and that's okay, you know, what we're talking about. We put those provisions in about, you know, he's got to remove the trail, which he said he was going to do and everything else like that. Okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, we would make it a
But, you know,
condition because you would need a use variance for those structures. And he says he's going to remove them, so that would be a condition.
he said he's going to remove them, so we would have to put that in there, that he's going to remove the trailer, the dwelling, and the other structures too. The other storage units, the other storage units, right? So the only thing we'd be talking about basically would be the permit for the apartment.
Right. They're just changing the use of the existing structure. They're not changing the footprint of that structure. They're not increasing the side yard setback.
Okay.
But you know, the big deal was the trailers because that technically
Well, it seems,
would have needed a variance, but they says it's going to remove them. So
it seems like he answered that question, so, you know.
right.
Yeah, and I don't think they're increasing the height because there's already a roof there that is the height that they're going to have.
No,
But they're having some things on the end that I can't think of the word, that they're flattening out areas that were curved.
Yeah, but he's already got a permit for that. He did that when he did the renovation of the building.
Okay,
So
it's not a height variance, is it?
No, not a
Okay.
height. No.
All right.
He renovated that whole building. That building looked like a dive before, you know, and then now he did the whole building and everything else like that. So now he's just going to put an apartment in. So we're just going to be, the only thing Irish would be just the apartment. Because he's corrected all the other things because he's going to remove the trailers. So, okay, any other questions? Anybody good? All right, that's anybody make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Wait, hold on. Lenny got a question. Oh, God. What's up, Lenny?
Making sure we're gonna get it in writing that those trailers are gone?
They're going to be part of the resolution.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right, I made him happy. Okay, that's it. All right? We're done?
Oh,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Who'd make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Benny made the motion, Lenny seconds it, and everybody agrees. So, good night, and I'll see you next
good
month.
night.
Thank you.
Bye. Happy New Year, bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye. Take care. Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye.
You too, Adam. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Gotta
Bye.
get my shot. I'm looking for the shot somewhere.